If you've ever had a dream to cast practically any spell you've ever wanted, I have the perfect game for you. This is Magicka 2 on the PlayStation 4. It's also available on the PC. What did you think of Magicka 2?
I'm a really big fan of couch co-op games, so I actually really enjoyed Magicka 2 with a friend. By yourself, it gets repetitive after a while, and it gets kind of hard. But with all the different spells, as you mentioned, there's, what, 8 elements that you can play with?
Yeah. So you have 8 different elements that are all mapped to your buttons, and then you can push the trigger buttons and it'll unload another 4 weapons and abilities for you to use. But the fact that you can load up to 5 of those in various combinations, there's like a bazillion, I think there's like a bazillion combinations of...
That's a fact?
That is a fact. It was like a bazillion different kind of combinations of spells you can use, which keeps the game totally interesting. You started off the game like, okay, load up on my fire.
Yeah.
Take him a wizard. You're on the hunt as a wizard to find the chosen child, save the world from orcs taking over, which sounds, I mean, a cookie cutter story.
Yeah, but you're not really playing for the story. It's a parody off Diablo type games.
Yeah.
You're playing as up to 4 wizards, casting death rays, laser beams. But what I like is that they give
Fire,
you
laser beams.
I know you can mix it up, but what I like about it is that you get all the abilities from the get-go. You don't have to worry about unlocking things. You don't even have to worry about equipment. It does a really good job with item management. There really is no management. You're just unlocking stuff. Pick up whatever you want.
It's like, oh, here's a cool weapon. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to use that. We're just going to, all right, switch. There's another one.
But what were some of your favorite magic combinations? Because I was a big fan of Death Ray with some lightning.
Yeah, I liked, it was like fire, earth, death. So it's like I'd throw these fiery death rocks and they would just explode on impact.
Right.
And it was just an incredible mix. But then it's like you get into certain instances where the actual layout of the level can affect the way you're playing your character. So if you're on a beachfront and you're trying to use lightning, your character explodes.
Yeah.
Because lightning and water don't mix.
And that's interesting because the elements actually interfere with your environment and yourself. Because I didn't realize that the first time I walked through the puddle. I was wet, casting lightning, and I killed myself somehow. And it's like, oh, that actually matters. But it's kind of neat because then you can also cast frost to freeze the water and walk over it. You can cast a shield with water to kind of prevent yourself from getting wet. So there are all these interesting combinations that you can do to kind of play with the environment.
Yeah, and it's not even just casting the spells as well. You can cast them on your weapon. So if you want to use like a fiery death sword, you can go ahead and use that. If you want to throw up a shield around your character, if you want to inflict massive amounts of damage to yourself, also doable.
Also doable.
The Magicka series was born on the PC, so I wasn't sure how the transition of bringing a PC game that's built where you have all of these controls at your, at will, and you're going to transfer that over to a controller, I thought might be difficult, and it can be a little tedious trying to figure out exactly which spell you're trying to use, especially when you have to flip through pages sometimes.
Yeah,
and
holding the controller buttons.
Trying to get all my life, I gotta hold this button, hold the trigger.
Yeah, how many times have you, friendly fire, how many times have you healed the enemy by accident or laser beam somebody else?
I've healed the enemy. I'm like, why isn't he dying? Oh, because I keep using my damn healing rays on him, and that's why he is clearly just becoming the most strongest thing I've ever faced and not losing any health. Now, there's challenges within the game as well, so you can take on up to 20 waves of enemies if you can survive that long, because most likely you won't, because you're gonna die a lot.
And it's okay though, you just come right back.
It's true, especially if you play with friends, but if you're playing by yourself, you're gonna die. And that's not, it's hard when you don't have friends who want to come over and play awesome games with you.
I also love the little Easter egg references. So if you watch things like Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, you should find the little Easter eggs. They're pretty cute. It's goofy, it's entertaining. I really enjoyed it.
I had a good time. I thought it was going to be a little too much when I first played it, when I was first jumping into it and trying to master all the spells. But once you find a good flow of spells that you like to use and you can constantly go to them without dying, and especially if you're playing with friends, there is a whole lot of enjoyment to be had. What are you going to give the game?
I'm going to give it a 7.5.
I'm right there with you. 7.5 for me as well. Death Ray.